Armies say yes, and the fashion world is holding its breath. When it comes to redefining global influence in fashion, few names command attention like Jungkook of BTS. And this July 2025, as whispers turn into headlines, it's finally confirmed. Jungkook is back as the face of Calvin Klein, and he's about to ignite the fashion world all over again. But here's the real question fans can't stop asking. How did he manage to dominate luxury fashion without even saying a word after completing his mandatory military service just weeks ago? Most would expect Jungkook to take a breather, but instead, he's stepping right into a spotlight that never seemed to leave him in the first place. While the idol maintained a low profile during his enlistment, Calvin Klein's marketing team never let the world forget him. From billboards in Times Square to full-spread magazine covers across Tokyo, Paris, and Seoul, Jungkook's pre-recorded campaigns have kept Calvin Klein's image fresh, modern, and dangerously charismatic. According to Vogue Korea, the Jungkook effect generated over $17 million in media value in just 1 week during last year's spring-summer campaign. And now, he's back, not just as a model, but as a symbol of evolution. While Calvin Klein has yet to release the full concept, insiders from fashion circles in New York and Milan have leaked early details. The Fall 2025 campaign reportedly features a minimalist, monochrome palette, paired with distressed textures and bold layering, a direct contrast to the clean, body-focused look of Jungkook's first CK ads in 2023. The photo shoot, believed to have taken place in Berlin in early June, captures Jungkook in a more introspective light. Less skin, more emotion. Black and white teasers rumored to be part of the shoot show him in an oversized trench coat, leaning against a cracked wall, eyes half closed as if lost in thought. Is this a rebranding? A new narrative? Or is Jungkook simply telling the world he's no longer a boy but a man with a message? As soon as the news broke, ARMY took to social media to celebrate and theorize. He's not modeling clothes. He's embodying an era. One viral tweet reads, garnering over 1.2 million likes within 24 hours. Only Jungkook can be silent for months, then drop one photo and crash Calvin Klein's website. Another fan posted, armies across the globe are already preparing digital fan events and projection campaigns in Seoul, Bangkok, and Los Angeles to celebrate the launch of Jungkook's fall collection. Hashtags like #CalvinJK2025, #JungkookXCK, and #GoldenComeback dominated Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok throughout the second week of July. On July 10th, Calvin Klein released a 10-second teaser across all platforms, a black screen with Jungkook's profile slowly fading in, voiceover whispering just one word, still. No tagline, no date. Just that, the ambiguity drove fans into a frenzy. What does still mean? Is it a continuation of his previous campaign, My Truth? Is it referencing his solo documentary, Jungkook, I Am Still, which launched on Disney Plus Hotstar last year? Or is it a poetic nod to his constant presence in the hearts of fans, even in silence? GQ UK's lead stylist wrote, what makes Jungkook the most valuable model in the world right now isn't his fame. It's his ability to shift cultural tone. He doesn't chase trends. He becomes the trend. Industry insiders agree. Jungkook's strength lies not just in his looks or name, but in the emotional story he brings to every frame. Whether he's draped in denim, leather, or layered wool, the audience isn't just admiring fashion, they're feeling something. Since the release of his 2023 solo album Golden, Jungkook has been slowly building a multi-platform brand empire. With chart-topping hits, record-breaking YouTube performances, and now the most anticipated fashion campaign of the year, many believe he's poised to launch his own luxury line in the near future, possibly in collaboration with CK or under his own label. According to Korea Business Daily, HYBE recently registered a new trademark, JK97 Studio, a potential signal of Jungkook's creative expansion. Could this Calvin Klein campaign be the final chapter of an era, or the prologue to a new empire? Unconfirmed reports from Paris Fashion Week suggest Jungkook may make a surprise appearance at Calvin Klein's Fall Runway Showcase in New York this August. If true, this would mark his first official fashion event post-military, and fans are already speculating whether he'll walk the runway, attend front row, or perhaps even debut a capsule collection. One thing is clear. The anticipation isn't just high, it's historical. In an industry where visibility is currency, Jungkook has mastered the art of scarcity. He disappears, and the world starts counting the days until he returns. He reappears, and the world resets. The Fall 2025 campaign is more than just a fashion moment. It's a statement. He's not just modeling Calvin Klein, a fan wrote. He's modeling strength, stillness, growth. And maybe, just maybe, he's modeling the future. What do you call someone who doesn't post, doesn't promote, doesn't even speak publicly, and still moves millions of dollars in fashion revenue? You call him Jungkook. While many idols rely on constant social media engagement to stay relevant, Jungkook's recent absence only made him more powerful. After his military enlistment in 2023, Calvin Klein could have easily shifted to a different global face. But they didn't. In fact, they doubled down. Photo shoots from 2024, planned, filmed, and embargoed in advance, continued to roll out throughout his service. Each one crafted to feed the myth. The silent icon who doesn't need to speak to be seen. Every drop created a viral ripple, turning absence into allure and distance into desire. According to a July 2025 report by WWD Korea, the brand's Q2 revenue saw a surprising 14% spike after teasers of Jungkook's Fall 2025 reintroduction campaign surfaced, even though the campaign had no official release date. Jungkook didn't become a fashion icon overnight. In his early BTS days, his style leaned heavily into boyish athleisure, graphic hoodies, ripped jeans, skate sneakers. But everything changed in 2022 when Calvin Klein announced him as their global ambassador. Suddenly, fans weren't just talking about Jungkook the singer. They were obsessing over Jungkook the silhouette. The boldness of those first campaigns, shot in stark lighting with minimal clothing, transformed public perception. He wasn't just the golden magnate anymore. He was a man stepping into his prime. And now, in 2025, after 18 months of near total silence, that man is back, wearing more clothes, but revealing far more. The real power of fashion is vulnerability, said Calvin Klein's creative director, Jules Ortega, in an interview with Fashion 24. And Jungkook, he brings vulnerability like no one else. What makes Jungkook's campaigns hit so hard? It's not just about physique. It's not just about fabric. It's about emotion. Fans don't see a model in Calvin Klein. They see resilience, growth, and a quiet return after service, hardship, and healing. They see someone who worked through loss, his grandmother's passing, someone who trained in the most elite military unit in Korea, someone who still smiled for the camera, even when the world didn't see the rest. And the newest campaign's rumored stills. Jungkook is seen walking alone under rain, standing before shattered glass and gazing upward into a pale sky. There's a narrative unfolding, a sense of journey, loneliness, reflection. He's telling a story, said visual analyst Min-Kyu Baek on his YouTube channel. And it's not a comeback. It's a continuation. One of the strongest aspects of this partnership is how Calvin Klein mirrors Jungkook's personal evolution. CK has always marketed itself as a symbol of understated rebellion. Their models aren't loud, they're introspective. They don't smile, they smolder. They don't explain, they suggest. And that's Jungkook in 2025. He's no longer the wide-eyed magnate of 2013. He's a man who's lived more lives in a decade than most live in a lifetime. From singing in stadiums to sleeping in barracks, from world tours to military drills, his story is layered. And Calvin Klein lets those layers show. The brand doesn't just style him. It sits back and lets him speak with his body, with his gaze, with his silence. And that silence is louder than ever. Now that Jungkook is back and hotter than ever, ARMY is buzzing with theories. Is a custom CK x Jungkook line coming? Some fans believe so. A recent HYB trademark registration under JK97 Studio has sparked speculation of a new creative venture. If Jungkook were to launch a personal fashion line or collaborate with Calvin Klein for a capsule collection, it could become one of the most successful idol fashion ventures in K-pop history. He has the taste, the influence, and the market, fashion journalist Elena Kwan wrote. A single pair of Jungkook-endorsed jeans could eclipse even Kanye's early Adidas drops. And considering Jungkook's longtime interest in streetwear, luxury layering, and minimalistic design, a crossover fashion line isn't just possible, it's inevitable.